Hi everyone, I'm Adam Brady of Straight Blast Warrior JKD and RevisedReality.com. Welcome back to Kettlebell Basics. This is the Kettlebell Clean. So this is one of the 6 fundamental kettlebell exercises. It's not used as much for reps and overall exercise and conditioning as some of the other exercises, but it's a pivotal piece of building for the press, which is the next exercise we'll be looking into, and a few other things just for body mechanics purposes and understanding how to get the kettlebell into a rack position. So the clean basically means that you're cleaning your body out of the way, you're cleaning the kettlebell clear of your body to put it into rack position. And I'm going to start by showing you what rack position looks like and then explain how to get there using the clean. So just to pick up the kettlebell safely, I'm just going to use 2 hands and bring it over and rest it over here on my arm bicep area, kind of resting on my deltoid. So this is the kettlebell clean or rack position. This is where we end up after we've done the clean. So once you're here, you can practice with this. Just bring it up a few times, hold it in this position, get a good base, feel that slight bend in your knees, good neutral spine alignment, and you want to feel like your arm is strong, everything's braced, good strong core. And look at my wrist. This is not bending back, and it's not over bending forward. You'll feel that. It doesn't feel comfortable at all. You want to keep your wrist as straight as you can. This is kind of broken wrist position, no good. So nice, strong wrist, good grip, and your elbow resting right up against your rib cage. Opposite arm is kind of out for balance and to brace a little bit, to build that overall stability strength that keeps you in good form here. And from here, as I said, we can press or we can squat. If you remember the goblet squat, we use 2 hands. We can squat from this position as well. Just be careful not to press it in too close, ladies. If you don't want to press right up against your chest, keep it off to the side just a little bit. But it's right up against your rib cage, and this is rack position. Okay, so now that we understand the end placement, what we're going to do is work on the clean. So how do we get it up? So the clean basically involves the same body mechanics as the swing. So you've done the swing, and you may have started working on the one-hand swing. So you're just maybe either alternating from side to side or just working the reps on the one-hand swing. So you swing up, and then at the last minute, what happens is you kind of bring your body under, so the kettlebell does a soft touchdown on your arm. And this is something that you have to be patient with yourself. It takes practice. This is probably the movement that I work with my students the most on, refining the subtle nuances of the movement, because it takes time to get used to maneuvering your body under the kettlebell. It's not about slowing down the kettlebell with your grip or trying to make it like a real heavy controlled movement. It's more you're scooping yourself under so you have a soft touchdown with the kettlebell on your arm over here into that rack position. So let me show you what it looks like, and we'll break down a few of the subtle details. So just like with the kettlebell swing, if you remember, I talked about how the kettlebell swing builds up on everything else. So we'll get in our good position here, base, feet just a little bit wider or right around shoulder width, toes turned out slightly, sink into your heels, neutral spine. Kettlebell is maybe 1.5 feet in front of you, somewhere in that neighborhood. Sink down, get that base, hinge your hips, grab with one arm, and with all these movements that we're going to be doing, whether it's the clean, the press, or the snatch, your opposite arm is out for stability. Some schools teach you bring your arm in, but I like to keep it out. It helps you balance a little bit more, and it also fires the stabilizer muscles in your back, so everything kind of locks up and you get that whole bracing effect. Okay, so hinge, bring your other hand down, grab the kettlebell, opposite arm out, and then you hike it back. And if we're just going to do a few swings, here's a swing, and the next one's going to be a clean, and you just bring it right over here into this landing position. So once again, here's a clean, you hike it back between your legs, and then you scoop it under. Again, up and under. Again, up and under. So it's the same mechanics, it's the same ballistic movement. The swing comes up, and at the last minute, you scoop your arm under it. It's what we call taming the arc. So the arc of the kettlebell is swinging up here. We want to get under it. Bring our body under it a little bit, so that allows it to have that soft touchdown rather than banging on our shoulder. I'll see if I can do it the wrong way, and it's not what you want. So just be mindful. Here's a swing, and now if I'm going to go, boom, see, no good. Real bad mechanics, you'll feel this instantly, and you'll know this is wrong. So you want to make sure that you touch down nice and soft. So let's do it again. Hike back, and then soft landing. hike back, soft landing. Okay, so a few more nuances. A good way to think about this is imagine zipping up a zipper. You pull the zipper up. So when the kettlebell comes up, it's bringing you this zippering type movement, almost straight up your center line, and then at the last minute, kind of a little bit of a scoop your body under it so it lands comfortably. And like I said, it takes practice. You're not going to get this the very first time. Nor is this an exercise you do for reps. I mean, you can do like 8, 10, 12 kettlebell cleans over and over again, but it's more a matter of refining the movement than it is doing a lot of reps for power or for speed or endurance, any of those specific attributes. So just work the form to get it to land comfortably. And then once you've done it on one side, do it on the other, hike back. It's usually good to start with a couple practice swings just to make sure you're including your hips. And then when you're ready, scoop it under and just let it rest. Coming into rack position. Hike back, scoop under, arm out for stability. Bring it right up. So once you have it here, I'd recommend holding it for a moment or two. Feel the position. Work with getting comfortable with rack position. Once you have rack down and you start to feel your balance, then you can start to do a little walk with it. Walk around, keeping it in this position. You'll notice you have to keep your body strong. You have to keep this other arm out, flex everything nice and tight and strong, and then set it down safely. If you can't set it down by hiking it back, use 2 hands to lower it down. But always put it back in the original position safely and comfortably. So just a few more details on the back hike. Since you're just doing the one hand, remember the kettlebell swing, we're going like bang to throw it back. When we do a clean, same thing with the press, and then when we get onto the snatch, getting it down back between your legs is really just a matter of letting gravity do its thing. You have it up here in rack position, and then you just let it fall back, but you hinge your hips. Just don't let it fall back and swing, because then the kettlebell will take you wherever it wants to go. You want to control the descent, but you do that by hinging your hips. That brings it down safely, full back swing, and then snap, bring it right back up. So one more time. Here we are. Swing, swing, number 3, up. And now if I do another one, I just let it go, and then up. Let it go, and then up. And you'll notice, as I'm going back, the kettlebell is kind of spinning on its axis, so my thumb is leading the way back. Rather than like the swing, where the handle is horizontal, and then a little bit as I come up, and then I'll let my thumb go back to get just a nice little lower down position as I come back from the clean. So just work that a few times, and if you remember talking about the kettlebell swing, the one-handed swing, the way that the body mechanics works, your body is going to want to twist because you've got the weight fighting against the face-forward nature of your shoulder. So you want to keep yourself straight here. Clean it up, lower it back down. Yes, thumb leads the way, but that doesn't mean you're going to go like this or turn your body or do this big thing, because when you swing it back up, chances are you're going to get into the bad habit of swinging it off at an arc. You want it to come straight up your center line and land safely. Okay, so that's the kettlebell clean. Now the kettlebell clean is what we use as our departure point for the next exercise, which will be the press. But as I said, you can either use it as a setup for the press or for rack squats, which we'll get into when we do some of the combinations later. But for right now, just work the form on getting the clean comfortably. It takes repetitions. Be patient with yourself, get used to it, and play around with it. Use a lighter kettlebell if you need to. I'm usually using a 35 instead of the 44 right now, just because it makes it a little bit of a softer touchdown, just so I can continue to practice and refine my movement. I've been doing cleans for a long time. But if you have the option to get a lighter kettlebell, just to work the form, to scoop yourself under, to tame the arc, to be in control of that arc as you bring yourself around, do that. Build up the practice, build up the correct form, and then gradually when you're ready, increase the weight, and you'll be ready to go from there. So that's the clean. Stick around. We'll see you in the next video, which is the press.